Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Hope you're having a great day. Doing this exercise, starting this exercise routine for the summer. Uh, try to walk, try to walk 3 miles, but I'm gonna start with two. I'm gonna start with 2 miles right now, and try to stay consistent with it every day. But consistency is important. But also with consistency, you have to have structure. You have to have structure with it, and it's good when things like this, walking, exercising, practicing or rehearsing something that you're into, that's good to pick up on as a habit. A lot of people, they pick up bad habits, and that's not good. But when you pick up a good habit that you do almost every day, that's a great thing. That's a great thing to do. But consistency and structure, you can't have consistency without some type of structure. Shout out to my parents. They just got 100,000 subscribers, and they still growing because they're consistent with their channel. Not only consistent, but they do videos the same time every day. And I've noticed that's what really progresses a YouTube channel. Excuse the sweat, walking out here. But that's what grows. That's what grew that channel to where it is. My mom and dad was consistent with their videos. Shout out to the Gym Nugget. They got a church channel for their church, for our church YouTube channel. And so, it's all about consistency. Anything you do, like far as finances, you may have a savings account or a checkings account. You put money in there, consistency, but not at the same time all the time, because and that causes a stagnant, and growth if it's not consistently growing. So you can be consistent, but at the same time you have to have some type of structure. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the bank this time of the week, every week, and so, like I said, not only consistency but having structure, and having it a habit to do it, and that's why I need to start doing my channel. And I'm trying to do it my channel, be consistent with my content, so it can build, so it can grow. Trying to do a lot of things this summer. Hopefully it carries on when I go back to school in the fall. Try to stay consistent with things. Try to fit exercising around my school schedule. I know it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try to do that so my YouTube channel can grow, and, consistency, you can see progress, but, like I said, with consistency, you have to have some type of structure in order for those things to flourish, excuse me, for those things to flourish. So, that's what I wanted to talk about on this video. Consistency and structure in order for things to manifest. I believe in manifestation. In order for things to grow, you have to speak those things. Excuse me. You have to speak those things that's not there as though they were. You gotta say, I am going to be successful. I am going to do this. I am going to do that. And watch those things happen. I'm in music. I try to stay consistent. I need to be more consistent. I've seen success in music, but I think in order for those things to really manifest, I have to be more consistent, have more structure, do a certain amount every week, you know, in order for those things to really happen like I want to. You know, you can be successful, but you can be even more successful with consistency and structure. Excuse me, my throat just got scratchy. But anyways, it just takes time, and you have to have patience as far as those things is concerned as well. You have to have patience. Rome wasn't built overnight, and so you have to really have patience with what you're doing and be consistent and have structure with it, at the same time, and you won't regret, you won't put yourself down if something fails and you had consistency and structure. You did all you can do, versus you're not doing anything at all and you're not consistent and you're not having structure. You'll put yourself down, so just be consistent, have structure, and see what happens. Not only in the things you do, but with your whole life. Having consistent things. Consistently drinking water, plenty of water every day. Consistently just regulating your salt intake. So many things in life, we take consistency for granted and structure for granted, in life. But, you just got to really think about those things. Think about those things in life, those things that you really want in life. You don't just get it, but you get it with consistency and structure, So I'm planning on having more of that in my life to see things flourish in my life. And I hope you do the same. As far as those factors is concerned. So again, appreciate y'all for watching. I know I'm all over the place with this, but try to be consistent with this YouTube. Try to be consistent with these videos. I know I've been going for a while from this channel, but striving to be consistent and post at the same time every day, so I can keep in touch with you guys and also progress in this motivation. So again, appreciate y'all for watching. All right, peace.